Alright, this is the T-Mix 25, the reconditioned one. It's been on test now for several days, refrigerates nicely, recirculates well. The motor and pump for the recirculation are brand new. The whole thing works pretty damn good. Alright, so what you do, put it wherever you want it to go. Sit it in its final spot to start with. First step is pop the lid off and fill the internal tank with water. What happens in here is you've got the refrigeration coils at the back, which are copper, and the food coils, which are stainless steel. The refrigeration coils, you need to fill this tank with water, so it's just it's basically level with these refrigeration coils. If you put too much in, there is an overflow at the front, water will dribble out. If water continues pouring out of there, there's a leak. That shouldn't happen. But yeah, inside that's all you have to do. Fill up this tank with water to just above those refrigeration coils. Once that's done, we can pop the lid back. Now, there are two plugs for this machine. One controls the machine itself, one controls the recirculation pump. They are wound around here. That needs to be plugged in. Now, for the connections themselves, we have this one here, which is your soda out. This is soda water being made and sent down to the gun. Now, we're going to send it with a 6mm barb on here, so it'll fit directly on our Python line. In fact, what we'll do is, this is actually set up for our test machine. I'll rip this off and it'll attach directly to right here, this barb here. Let's do that now. Alright, so we've removed that. So your Python line, which is soda out. Now, we've actually drawn a nice little key on the top of the gun box for you. So on the Python side, soda out is brown. So what there is on the Python line, we come over here and we find the brown line, which isn't that one, which is this one, and that line will attach directly to here. Now, what we're also including is a bit of insulation. With the soda line, we like to have it insulated as much as possible. So between this point and this point, we recommend putting this insulation over it and getting it sealed off as much as possible. We've left a bit of this here. You may have to extend it depending on where your syrup pumps are and how far reach you need. So you may have to strip some of this further back. So we haven't done that until you know what you're doing. So we advise you to lay the Python line, put the machine, put the pump, put all the parts where they're going before you start attaching everything to everything. So now you've got the brown soda water coming out of there. Down the bottom here, you'll have plain water coming out. So plain water will go down here. Water is white. So once again, you attach the white. We'd also recommend insulating that one. They're the only two cold ones. And the soda return, which is silver, which is this one here, not to be confused with white. And that attaches to this 6mm barb right here. So your cold ones are soda out, soda return, and water out. Once again, those three should be insulated. So now you've got your three out, soda return, and water out, is the inlets. You have CO2 inlet, which goes to the regulator that's in here. It has carbonator written on that, so once again, this will be attached to the gas bottle. Run a 6mm line, this one here, from this barb here, put a clamp over the line, clamp it off, same as this, run the line to the gas regulator on the bottle, measure it, cut it to size, clamp it off, and H2O is your water inlet, which attaches to the water filter. Now, that's done in 10mm. So from this barb here, once again, you'll have the water filter mounted to the wall. More information on the water filter section. Run the 10mm line to this one here. It's the only part on the machine that has a 10mm line, simply because you want a certain amount of water pressure, and that's actually a pressure reducer that maintains 350 kPa. And that's really all there is to this machine. Put it where it goes, fill it up with water, plug it in, don't turn it on yet, there is a power button, I'll show you in a second. Soda out, water out, soda return, water in, gas in. The only other part you should know about is down beside here. Let me just move these boxes. All right, down here you'll find power buttons. Everything comes turned off, which is 0. The larger button, after you've got it turned, well, filled with water and placed where it is, where you want to go, you can turn the large button on if you want. That turns the refrigeration on. That's the main power for the unit, and it will turn on and start refrigerating and getting stuff cold. Because without it being cold and formed ice and down to temperature, everything's going to be flat. As soon as post-mix gets above 4 degrees, it's completely useless. Tastes bad, it's warm, it's flat, it's unusable. So, you can turn that on. This next one over here is your carbonator. It makes the soda water. It turns all the internal pumps and stuff on. Don't turn that on until everything else is connected up, otherwise you're going to get water spurting out everywhere. Even if you haven't turned the cold water tap on, especially if you haven't turned the cold water tap on, because then all the pumps will try and run without water connected and will burn out. So definitely don't turn that one on until everything's connected up. And once again, we'll turn everything off, and that's all there is to this machine.